This is the most peaceful and vast side of China. It is also the most desolate side. There are grasslands that are more beautiful than Switzerland. There is also a flame mountain that can bake the soles of shoes. This is the farthest place from the ocean in China. But it is also China's first stop to the world. He is Chinese. Xinjiang. Some people also say, who doesn't understand Xinjiang? Who can't he understand China as next 20 years? Do you think it is just a beautiful view or just a frontier of China? But in fact, it is the key to China's future to the world. A place that occupies 1/6 of China as area. A hub connecting 8 countries. A place that has been misunderstood by the world for too long. It is quietly becoming a new starting point for China. This video will give you a new comprehensive understanding, Xinjiang, from scenery to pattern, from the desert Gobi to the world chessboard. You ask passers-by, what is there in Xinjiang? 9 times out of 10, they will say that the desolate desert, the city they have never been to. Old lake, raisins, large plate chicken, lamb skewers. Yes, there is nothing wrong with this, but have you realized that? If you only use these to describe Xinjiang, it will be too simple. The real weight of Xinjiang is not in the tourist check-in area, but China's gateway to the future. He is upgrading from the frontier to the home, from the remote to the center. You have to understand China's external pattern, energy structure, balance between the East and the West, ethnic coexistence, global layout. You must start from Xinjiang. Don't jump to conclusions. Let's take a look at a few sets of data, guaranteed to blow your mind. How big is Xinjiang? More than 1.6 million square kilometers, which is more than Germany. France and Spain are even bigger combined. It borders 8 countries and is the province with the most border neighbors in China. How strong is Xinjiang? Its urban renewal rate is far faster than most people think. In 2024, GDP growth rate will be 6.1%, leading the country. The urbanization rate has increased to 60.36%, and the income of rural residents has increased. The real increase was 8.2%. There are 14,397 China-Europe trains. Natural gas reserves alone account for more than half of the country. Coal accounts for 1/3. How beautiful is Xinjiang? There is an endless Nalati grassland, the second largest mobile desert in the world. Taike Lamagan. There are those who are shocked by the silence. Wood Lake, Kanas Lake, Bayinbruko wetland. There is the Flame Mountain under the sunset, and there is the Bogda Peak of the Rizhao Golden Mountain. There are also the remains of the 1,000-year-old Silk Road, ancient cities, mosques, and grottos. As long as you have been here once, you know what beautiful Xinjiang is. So this place is not only important, it is also unreasonably beautiful, especially today, with the continuous deepening of the Belt and Road. Xinjiang is changing from an inland hinterland to a frontier opening up to the west. Without mentioning other times, let's take the most recent 2024 Huawei Cloud City Summit. Karame was held, signed an agreement of intent to cooperate with the Artificial Intelligence Computing Power Center, further promote the digital transformation of Xinjiang. Alibaba Digital Southern Xinjiang goods flow to Central Asia. 1688 Xinjiang Operation Center was officially launched in Yuepuhu County, build a bridge for economic and trade cooperation in Central Asia and the global market. And many companies such as Tencent are looking to Xinjiang. This is not only the starting point of the China-Europe train and the hub of the energy channel. It is also China to open up the Eurasian land bridge, build a global supply chain, a bridgehead for expanding the economic hinterland. You cannot go to Xinjiang, but you must understand Xinjiang. So today's video is not just about how important Xinjiang is. I also want you to see how spectacular it really is from multiple dimensions. How vast and stunning. Earlier, we talked about Xinjiang as China's gateway to the future. It is a key node in the global strategic layout of China's Western development. Then you might ask, how is it distributed in such a large place? Let's start with the topography of Xinjiang. In fact, if you open the topographic map of Xinjiang, you will find that its geomorphological structure is very special. The Tian Shan Mountains are like a skeleton lying across Xinjiang, divide Xinjiang into 2 completely different worlds. North of the Tian Shan Mountains is what we often call Northern Xinjiang, And south of the Tian Shan Mountains is southern Xinjiang. The area along the Tian Shan Mountains and the central area is called the Zhongjiang or Tian Shan Corridor, and different areas are. There are different scenery, different functions, and even different cultural customs. Southern Xinjiang is history, northern Xinjiang is the scenery, central Xinjiang is the hub. Together, they constitute the skeleton and soul of Xinjiang. Northern Xinjiang is picturesque, developed and rich in resources. If you are traveling to Xinjiang for the first time, I can tell you responsibly, the shock of northern Xinjiang is completely beyond your imagination. Because here is almost all of nature, blockbuster elements are all arranged for you. Karnas Lake is known as the Switzerland of the East. In autumn, it is colorful, as if you have stepped into a fairy tale world. There is the Ili River Valley, which is covered like a green carpet all year round. In summer, you can also see lavender fields and Kazakh teenagers riding horses. There is Lake Selimiu, known as the last tear of the Atlantic Ocean. The lake is blue like a gem. There are Tian Shan Tianqi, snow-capped mountains, forests, and lakes. Blockbusters can be made all year round. Cities in northern Xinjiang are also more modern. Urumqi is one of the most populous cities in western China, and it is a political and economy transportation. It is also one of the most important departure points of the China-Europe Express. Changji, Kuitun, and Sihezi. These cities were the first areas to take off for industrial and agricultural modernization in Xinjiang. Moreover, there is a very important keyword in northern Xinjiang, which is highly passable. Whether it is railway, high speed, or aviation, the infrastructure in northern Xinjiang is the most mature. It is also the most suitable for economic development and tourism expansion. The ancient road of southern Xinjiang civilization, cultural precipitation, desert wonders. But if you ask me which piece is the most primitive and soulful in Xinjiang, then the answer is southern Xinjiang. Southern Xinjiang is a living history book at the intersection of Chinese civilization and Central Asian culture. It was once the main road of the southern route of the Silk Road. This is the root of Uyghur culture. There are countless ancient oasis city-states here, like pearls scattered on the desert. There is the largest desert in China, the Taklamakan Desert. It covers an area of 330,000 square kilometers, larger than the whole of Germany. There is the old city of Kashgar with a history of more than 3,000 years. It is the only place in Xinjiang that is listed as a living ancient city by the United Nations. There are relics of the ancient country of Lulan, Mogao Goto-style Kizil, Thousand Buddha Caves, the ancient post stations of the Silk Road. There are many Hui people, Uyghur and Tajik traditional villages and ancient mosques. The cultural heritage is profound. The natural conditions in southern Xinjiang are indeed more difficult. Dry climate, little precipitation and large temperature difference. But because of this, the most primitive cultural form has been preserved. Here, you see more than just the scenery. It is the folding and inheritance of civilization. The Zhongjiang Tianshan Corridor is a real-life blood channel. Connecting southern Xinjiang and northern Xinjiang are the Tianshan Mountains, the narrow central corridor at your feet. It is known as the Middle Tianshan Passage. This area has a very high strategic position, and it not only undertakes the circulation of materials from the north and south, it is also the hub of China's energy pipeline from west to west. Many high-speed railways and oil and gas pipelines have to cross here. In terms of cities, Korla, Bazhou, Turpan, and other places are all important intersections in the central region. Turpan's Flame Mountain, Quanner Well, Lopener and Boston Lake in Grape Valley, Bazhou. These places are rare humanities and geography coexistence zones in the central region. After talking about geographical distribution, let's talk about cities. 1. Yu Ulongyiqi, the FAR of Xinjiang, China's provincial capital city, farthest from the ocean. However, it has the largest railway marshalling station in western China, high-speed rail center, logistics transfer center. 2024, 4-year, middle. The European train departs from Urumqi with more than 7,500 trains. It can be called the true heart of Asia-Europe roads and bridges. 2. Kashgar, China's westernmost prefecture. Level city, more than 4,000 kilometers away from Beijing, but to Tajikistan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Kyrgyzstan only take a few hours. It is the gateway to Xinjiang's trade with South Asia, Central and West Asia. It also carries the richest cultural heritage of the Uyghur people. 3. Yili. The scenery is beautiful, and it is known as the south of the Great Wall. There are a large number of Kazakhs, Mongols, and other nomads living here. It is the only place in China where you can see snow-capped mountains, grasslands, forests, river valleys, the overlapping scenery of the Sea of Flowers. Fourth, Hogos. You may not have heard of it, but it is one of the most noteworthy new cities right now. This is a China-Kazakhstan border port. It is the location of China's earliest transnational visa-free cooperation zone. In the future, it will become a bridgehead for Xinjiang's opening up to the outside world. These cities are not only geographical concepts, but also fulcrum coordinates under national strategies. Each place hides a different mission. Some are transportation hubs, some are the core of national culture, some are resource and energy channels, and some are external bridges. If Xinjiang is a chessboard, then these cities are key chess pieces that have long fallen. At this point, we have a basic understanding of the skeleton and context of Xinjiang. In the next step, we will officially enter the content you are most looking forward to. Xinjiang's tourist map recommendation. Natural wonders plus humanistic history plus route combination. What are some places you should visit at least once in your life? Can't wait. Some people may ask, is Xinjiang worth going to if you talk so much? Is it really suitable for tourism? I can tell you with certainty, Xinjiang is one of the best places to visit in China. No, there is no one. I have been to many places, and Xinjiang is the most memorable for me. It is also the place with the greatest stamina. It is not just good looking, but can only be described as spectacular and shocking. Its scale is the kind that can calm your whole person. His style is the kind of primitive that you can capture 1/10 of his scene with your mobile phone. You have seen too many filters and beautifications in the city. But Xinjiang is a place where you can rely on nature to beat all retouching. Let's take stock below. If you can only go to Xinjiang once in your life, then you must not miss these places. 1. Selimu Lake, Plateau Sapphire. Keywords: lake, snow-capped mountains, highways, blue sky and white clouds. Located in the state of Botala, it is known as the last tier of the Atlantic Ocean. The lake water is clear like a mirror, blue like a gem, surrounded by snow-capped mountains and grasslands. From June to August every year, the meadow is full of wildflowers. Cattle and sheep are herds. Clouds are floating by the lake. It is completely a realistic version of the fairy tale world. It is most suitable for aerial photography or self-driving Selimu Lake Ring Road. Beautiful, really not real. Second, Nalati Grassland. The green carpet of the land of Pegasus. Keywords: grassland, nomadic culture. Kazakh customs, one of the representative works of the Ili River Valley. The terrain is undulating, distant mountains, cattle and sheep, wooden houses, fences, like movie scenes where you can ride horses and live in felt houses. Drink milk tea. Watch the sunset on the grassland, the best in July every year. The grassland is the greenest and the starry sky is bright at night, a must experience in a lifetime. Third, Kanas Lake, a secret place in oriental Switzerland. Keywords: forest, lake, Tuvan. Golden autumn. This is one of the hottest natural attractions in northern Xinjiang. It has the title of China's most beautiful autumn color. Kanas Lake is like a blue ribbon lying quietly in the forest. The lake is surrounded by birch forests and Tuvan villages. Yellow in autumn like an oil painting. Walking in Wolong Bay and Moon Bay is like being in a cartoon. 4. Bainbrook Prairie. Sunset with 9 bands and 18 bands. Keywords: grassland, wetland, Jukyu, Yellow River, Swan Lake. If you've ever seen a photo of the most beautiful sunset in China, it is probably here. On the observation deck of Bainbrook, you can see the sun slowly descending into the river with 9 bands and 18 bands. The whole sky was dyed golden red, and that moment was no exaggeration. It can silence you. Taklamakan Desert, a sea of sand. Keywords: sand sea, Lulan ruins, Gobi isolated city. The largest desert in China and the second largest mobile desert in the world. You can choose to cross the desert road in southern Xinjiang with a total length of more than 500 kilometers. Both sides are full of golden sand dunes, like sailing into Mars. If you use a drone to shoot, you will find that the scale of this desert cannot be described in words. 6. The ancient city of Kashgar, crossing the 1,000-year-old Silk Road in 1 second. Keywords: e-workers, ancient alleys, mosques. Humanistic street photography. This is one of the most humanistic cities in Xinjiang. The streets of Kashgar are the kind where you can walk in and take pictures for a day. Every door, every window grill, every roadside uncle's beard is the material. It is recommended to go to the Itigar Mosque, the handicraft market, the Xiangfei Cemetery, etc. Seven Flame Mountain, Turpan, Thermal City. Keywords, geothermal. Grape Ditch and Canal Well. A geographical wonder, the Flame Mountain is really hot, and the surface temperature can exceed 70 degrees. You can see the sandstone like a burning flame in the sun, and Turpan is one of the lowest, driest, and hottest cities in the world. It also gives birth to the sweetest grapes in China. You must eat a bunch of Turpan green grapes. It is so sweet that you can't believe it. It is a natural taste. 8. Tianshan Tianqi, a wonderland lake at the foot of the snow-capped mountains. Keywords, Tianshan legend. Ice and snow coexist with green forests. If you don't want to run too far, but want to experience the natural beauty of Xinjiang, that day, the mountain Tianqi is the first choice. It is about 110 kilometers away from Urumqi, and the mountains, rivers, forests, and snow are all available. Suitable for a family of all ages to travel and take pictures. The legendary Queen Mother of the West lives here. It is a mythical place in Xinjiang. How should the travel route be arranged? If you have enough time, it is recommended that the Northern Xinjiang Ring Line and the Southern Xinjiang First Line be carried out in sections. Northern Xinjiang Ring Line Urumqi, Selimu Lake, Yaning, Nalati, Banyan Brook and Kanas, and then back to Urumqi. On the first line of Southern Xinjiang, Urumqi departed from Turpan to Kolahetian, Kashgar, Takanti, Pamir Plateau. Northern Xinjiang is more suitable for first-time visitors to Xinjiang, with rich natural scenery. Southern Xinjiang is more primitive and less crowded, suitable for exploring culture. Humanistic shooting. Can't wait to pack your bags and set off. Don't worry, Xinjiang is so beautiful, so big, and so potential. Have you ever thought about the question, why, until in recent years, Xinjiang is really seen by more people? We are now going to Selimu Lake, to Nalati grassland, and to the old city of Kashgar. Driving is high speed, and taking pictures has a signal. Stay in the hotel with water, electricity, Wi-Fi all available. You can even order online to buy baked buns. Everything is so convenient, right? But do you think these things are inherently there? Not really. Xinjiang is so big and remote. It is so complicated. Which one? Isn't a country investing little by little? Roads are built one by one. Bridges are erected one by one. And the projects are moved in one by one. The infrastructure maniac is not talking nicely. Even if it is an infrastructure maniac, it has to be a pair of hands, one by one, to do and carry, especially in Xinjiang, where the elevation difference is extremely large. The desert Gobi is full of sky, the snow line and the mountains are closed for half a year, and dozens of ethnic groups have to be taken into account. 8 neighboring countries and thousands of kilometers of border defense lines. Not to mention that Xinjiang is not only difficult in natural conditions. What is even more difficult is that it is a strategic location. So let's talk about the challenges and future of Xinjiang. 1. Natural environment. Too big, too dry, too lonely. How big is Xinjiang? As we have said, it is bigger than Germany, France and Spain combined, but it is too big. It is space. The land is vast and sparsely populated. Northern Xinjiang is a plateau grassland with minus 30 degrees Celsius in winter. Southern Xinjiang is on the edge of the desert with a surface of 70 degrees in summer. If you build a city in the east, you can become a climate in 10 years. But in Xinjiang, just water is brought over and electricity is pulled. It will take decades to keep people. More importantly, oasis agriculture and desert edges. Ecosystems are very fragile. High dependence on water resources. The snow melted in the Tianshan Mountains. Climate change is a potentially huge threat to agriculture in southern Xinjiang. In a word, I want to develop here, it takes several times more effort than anywhere else. Second, geopolitical interference. Xinjiang as a geographical location, it borders 8 countries. It is a springboard for China to face Central Asia, West Asia, and even Eastern Europe. So don't say you're looking at Xinjiang. The world is also staring at Xinjiang, especially in some Western countries that do not look down on others. If you want to engage in development, he will spread rumors about you and suppress ethnic minorities. You engage in industrial upgrading, he spreads rumors and you force labor. You build railways to Central Asia, he spreads rumors and you export hegemony. The more you develop, the more jealous and anxious he becomes. Therefore, there are always people who hope that Xinjiang will be a little more chaotic, slower, and weaker. But as our country grows stronger, these rumors have long been debunked. Thanks to the efforts of the state and the people, Xinjiang has now taken on a new look. Social stability, improvement of people's livelihood, and cultural prosperity. 3. How did China solve it? In the face of these challenges, China's decision-making is also clear. Development is the core. Integration is the key. Openness is the way out. In terms of development, 10 years, the project becomes 3 years and it is completed. Railways, highways, airports, power grids. A network in Xinjiang has basically been formed, and the China-Europe Express. The digital economy and the smart agriculture are advancing rapidly. Xinjiang has gradually been pulled into the fast lane of national development. Education, employment, medical care, and people's livelihood go hand in hand. In terms of opening up, China actively promotes the 5-country Central Asian Cooperation Mechanism. Build the Horgoz, China-Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan corridor, and the new Eurasian land bridge. Not only let Xinjiang go out, but also let the world come in. 4th, Xinjiang's future will become more and more international. What you see in Xinjiang today is no longer just a solitary desert. The long river is full of sunset, but the desert rain rally and large-scale photovoltaic construction. Automated trains cross the Tian Shan Mountains. The future of Xinjiang is moving towards a new role. It is a land hub for China's opening to the outside world. It is a transit point for East-West exchanges in Eurasia and its quality. China's computing power base extending westward is also a civilization integration, a bridge for mutual cultural learning. Xinjiang is not just a tourist destination. It is changing from a distance to a center, from the frontier to the world. It is our understanding of China's pattern, world relations, a starting point for the possibility of human coexistence. I'm Alan. If you like my videos, welcome to like, subscribe, leave a message, your opinion. We will take you to learn more valuable content in the next issue. See you in the next issue.